The facts and the figures. There are quite a lot of numbers on the internet, just doing the research. I came across a few statistics. I understand that in 1994, the figure was at about 60%, just over 60% of South Africans who had access to clean drinking water. At the moment, it's over 90%. Give us the correct figures, because it looks as if there's been great strides that have been made.
Well, in fact, this is why we say this is indeed a very good story to tell. I mean, if you think about it, before 1994, we had access to water to the South African people, just under 51%. We're now sitting at 95.2, meaning that we're chasing the remaining 4.8%. Meaning that just after 1994, we had to look at, first of all, the policy and ensured that within the policy framework that was designed at the time of providing every South African with RDP standard of water, in other words, water provision and access not more than 200 meters away from you. So we chased that backlog. And indeed, as we're sitting right now, that's the coverage that we have made to that effect. And in fact, this is quite impressive, we think. But we also are giving water to the indigent and the poorest of the poor, 6 kiloliters per household per month. That on its own actually contributed in ensuring that our people get out of poverty, and it contributes to poverty eradication.
Talk to us a little bit more about that gap now, when we're going to close that a little over 4%, because access to water is not just any issue. It's a human rights issue. It's linked to sanitation. It's linked to dignity. You and I were also speaking about the deadline for universal access of the clean drinking waters. When do we hope to close that gap?
First of all, I must say that we are signatories to all the UN conventions in regard to this Millennium Development Goals, which we had to reach by half those who didn't have water by 2015. We have long surpassed that. We're now chasing the universal access, which is really remaining with 4.8%. But as you know, 4.2%, 4.8% rather. But as you know, it's very difficult. That's the hardest to reach. These are people in deep rural areas, sometimes with very difficult topography. When are we intending to reach that? First of all, I must say that we've been really planning very hard at work to ensure that there are resources for that. And Treasury has given to this date almost 4 billion rand for this MTF cycle for us to be able to reach out to those people. The intention is that over the next MTF, which is 3 years from now, that we should have reached those people. What are we doing? We're ensuring that even if there could be water below RDP standard, but at least people shouldn't drink water from with cattle, from rivers and so on. It should be good quality of water. So yes, the timeline is the next 3 years with allocation that has been given, with clearly focused attention. We're working with municipalities right now, particularly the 23 most poverty-stricken municipalities where such access is still not attained.
So we've spoken about access to water. You've touched on quality of that drinking water. Let's speak a little bit about that quality.
We actually have in our department, we're monitoring various other aspects. First of all, we have what we call the River Health System program. We're monitoring every river, every source of water in the country on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, take samples of, and just looking at what quality we have. Secondly, we have another system, a tool, which we're looking at the water treatment plants and the wastewater treatment plants operated throughout the country. We've covered almost of all of them. There are over 1,500 such wastewater treatment plant and wastewater treatment plant. We calling the one water for drinking water is blue drop. So we give a blue drop status if that water is clean to above 90% cum laude. And there are quite a number of them, the facilities and the wastewater treatment plant that are reaching that standard. In other words, you can drink that water from from those areas. And then, of course, for wastewater, we do, that's now the sanitation systems. We do the green drop. We're not doing so well on the green drop, but the intention is to get every municipality now jacking up so that we really, provide good quality of water. Mining houses also, we're monitoring them on a continuous basis through our green scorpions and the blue scorpions are being clamped on those who are polluting. And the exercise is ongoing, really, just to ensure that we keep up the standard. South Africa is one of the few countries of the world where you can actually drink water from the tap.
Minister, we'll have to leave it there for now. You've already answered the question I was going to ask to you next, so whether or not government is being seen as seeing water as a commodity as opposed to a necessity, prioritizing big business such as the mines, such as agriculture industries, as opposed to the poor South Africans. But you have already spoken to us about the blue scorpions and the green scorpions and the work that they do to make sure that those who do pollute water are dealt with severely. So let's leave it there. Yes, we'll have to leave it there for now. In fact, I remember a sting operation that we did not too long ago, Minister, where we went with the blue scorpions and nailed one of the farmers who was using water illegally in a particular area where the people around him had no access to that water, but he had made sure that he takes a bulk of it, and the Department of Water Affairs did deal with that individual quite severely. So that answers that question that I was about to ask. I believe we're going to go